We all get those times we can't get to our esthetician. And so today I wanted to show you an at-home peel. This is ideal to do 2 weeks after your professional chemical peel with your esthetician or 2 weeks before your next one. But it's particularly when your skin is looking a little bit dull, maybe there's some blackhead formation, maybe there's some breakouts coming up, and then this you can do at home safely and securely. Now you'll need a few tools for this treatment. Firstly, I like to have a dry towel to wipe my skin as we're going to cleanse. Then I'm also going to have another towel that I'm going to wet to remove my small mini peel, as we call it. I also have 2 pieces of gauze, and this is going to be great to remove one of my other cleansers. I do recommend that you have a brush to apply your, especially if it's a clay-based type of peel, it's really easy. It also makes sure that you don't use too much product. But if you don't have that, then I recommend that you put a glove on, because gloves then obviously are just there to protect your fingertips. If you do, however, use your hands, you will be using a bit more product. Then I've got a small spatula to take my mask out, which is basically my exfoliant that I'm going to be using. And then of course I've got all my products that I'll show you as we go along. At the same time, I also have a card. You can have a card, a pamphlet, a brochure, whatever. And I'm going to use that to fan my skin once my actual mini peel is on, because it can get quite tingly. So I like to cleanse my skin twice. The first one is to remove makeup. So I'm going to pump my cleanser. This is a mousse. It's very hydrating on the skin. It removes all impurities. Safe to use on the eye area as well. So you can see I'm going to go straight onto the eye. And I'm also going to include my neck. For me, it's important that we also always, especially as a woman, include the neck area. So I do small little rotaries. You see I have not added any water to this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to splash this off with some lukewarm water, not hot water. Make sure you really remove that cleanser properly. And then I'm going to take my small dry towel and I'm just going to pat my skin dry. Important not to rub too much on the skin, but just feel that I'm nice and dry. Next step is actually to use another cleanser, which has actually, this one for me has got 15% glycolic acid in. Should be used on dry skin, which my skin is dry now after drying it. And this is actually going to remove the dead surface cells, which actually will make your peel a little bit stronger. The great thing about this is the 15% glycolic acid helps to remove all excess dirt, really helps to remove the small little bonds in between the cells where they hold on to one another. Also, spend some time on areas of blackheads. I'm prone to blackheads on the nose particularly, and even on the chin you get that little crease. So take your fingers and just rub, add a little bit more pressure there. And even with this, I'm going to go quite close to the eye area, even over the brows. You can include the lips as well, because sometimes on the lip line we might get blackheads from incorrect products that we're using. Now, instead of splashing this cleanser off, what I am going to do is take my 2 pieces of dry gauze and I'm going to make sure that I remove it completely. If you do 1 piece, it's also fine. And I apply quite a bit of pressure. If you have very sensitive cheeks or sensitive area, you can see my skin's going nice and red. I would recommend that you don't use the dry gauze. Maybe just use some damp cotton wool or just be very gentle on those areas. So really nice, and I've just now wiped that cleanser everywhere. So you might feel a slight tingling still on the skin, and that's great because my 15% glycolic acid now is removing all dead skin cells. Spend some time on those areas of blackheads, and then obviously we're going to throw this away. You can even see sometimes a little bit of dead cell buildup already coming off, which is exactly what we want. Now moving on to my mini peel. Now my mini peel is in a clay base. This is actually a bentonite clay, which is fantastic to absorb excess oil. Inside here, we also have our 15% glycolic acid. Now, I love glycolic acid when it comes to peeling because it's the smallest alpha hydroxy acid, penetrates the skin the quickest, And it also really is great for collagen stimulation. But for our purpose here today, it's all about getting as many dead skin cells off that skin as possible. This little guy that you use at home can be on the skin for maximum 2 to 4 minutes, never longer than that. Whereas obviously in the professional arena, we can use things that's a little bit stronger. What I'm going to do is take my spatula. Don't really want to be digging my fingers in there. I'm going to take a nice amount of product. So I do use a little bit more product than normal, but I want to do a nice thick layer. Now, it's good to set a timer. I won't time it for the purposes of our video today, but it's good to set a timer then for like 2 minutes on the skin. So I'm taking my brush is dry, and I'm going to start firstly on my problem area, which is the nose. So this is my area that I want to get my product on first. Okay, and I'm also going to show you how to apply it with your hand. Already I can feel a tingling sensation on my skin. So as you can see, with the brush we get a nice, and I'm going into my eyebrows as well. You don't always have to, you could just go above. But because often I even get, like when I go for eyebrow waxing and stuff, I might get a little breakout in that area as well. So this is if you apply it with your brush. I'm going to show you just by putting on a glove how I can also apply. So when I apply with a glove, I've got my glove on, and it's just really here to protect your fingers. You're just going to smear it on, but can you see that you actually get a little bit more product on those areas? You can use your hands as is if you don't have gloves. However, you might actually find that if you don't wash it properly, the skin can get a little bit irritated and you really get quite a bit of exfoliation. So I'm spending time on the nostrils as well. It does get a little bit more sensitive there by putting this mini peel on, but spending some time on the nostrils because often we get a blackhead build up there. And then you can see I'm going close to the lips as well. And then lastly, down onto the neck. So lastly, we put it down onto the neck. And then I'm just going to make sure we got it smoothed out everywhere. Doesn't have to be a perfect application. You can see the application with the brush is definitely far better. And once you've got your product everywhere, make sure you've got everything off. I can definitely feel that little tingle. Now that tingling sensation that you get is actually the glycolic acid digesting all the dead skin cells, and that's why you feel that tingle. So what you can do, and this is why I got the card, is now you can fan yourself for, let's say, the 2 to 4 minutes that you have it on, because the fanning actually really helps. That wind just takes away that excess tingle. It's a bit like red ants biting your skin. And it's just, as I said, the glycolic acid doing its magic. Now inside this mini home peel that I've got, I also have salicylic acid in. Now salicylic acid is what we call a beta hydroxy acid. That little guy loves oil. So for my areas, particularly where I have my blackheads, it's going to go into those little blackheads and help to absorb the excess oil, getting sure that my skin is really nice and deeply cleansed. So let's pretend you've had it on for your 2 minutes. You can feel that tingling on the skin now. Now I'm going just to prepare my compress. Now, my towel, it doesn't have to be ice cold water, but it should also be boiling hot. So I'd say go for lukewarm temperature. If you have a lot of inflammation in the skin, you've got a lot of breakouts, it's often quite nice to use something that is a little bit cooler on the skin. Now, if you also have acne breakouts, what you can do after you've done this mini peel is take a block of ice, and wherever you have the breakout, just do small little circles on those pimples until it feels really cold and goes quite red, because that will actually help to remove the dead surface cells. Taking my face cloth now, I'm going to make like a little mitten, and I'm going to start removing. And here for me, I'm still going to leave my nose on. That's my problem area. And I'm going to remove the other areas. Very easy. I've got quite a firm pressure now, purely because you can feel that tingling. And I'm going to rinse out my cloth. You can see I'm nice and red currently, and you would be too. And remember, this is not like just a home care exfoliation. You want to get that little bit of redness, because this is supposed to be a home care peel that you're doing. So I'm just rinsing out my cloth. And then I'm going to just remove the last little bit. So because I went into the eyebrows, I've got a little bit into my eyebrow. Rub that out nicely. You don't have to go into the eyebrow area, but some people are prone to little ingrown hairs there. And if that is you, then definitely put it on. You also saw that with my mini peel, I did avoid my eye area. The eye area is way too sensitive for you to apply it on the eyelids. With the 15% glycolic acid, the salicylic acid, really not the best. Salicylic acid also absorbing excess oil. There's no excess oil in your eye area. So now I'm just looking really nice and close in the mirror, because with this type of product that I'm using today, this is time dependent. So the longer it stays on the skin, the more it will actually exfoliate the skin. So you've got to make sure that you've got everything off. Mine is a nice white mask. I can really see where it's still stuck. And especially check out the hairline. And I'm just making sure we've got everything off everywhere. Now I'm going to follow with a really nice active serum. And this is what makes it also a nice active treatment. My serum that I'm using is actually a 30% vitamin C. It's one of the strongest serums on the market currently. And the reason I chose this one is because I want to boost my collagen production in my skin. This is great for skin brightening as well. So I've just pumped product, normally about 2 to 3 pumps, depending on your product. This is a gel serum. And what is great about the gel is it goes very quickly into the skin. Now you've removed all the dead skin cells. And now you're putting this wonderful serum into the skin. I'm going to get beautiful collagen production from this. I'm going to get wonderful antioxidant production because it also has the ferulic acid in, the vitamin C, vitamin E. And I can feel a nice tingle. My skin is really nice and awake. And then over that, I'm going to put a cream, which is actually a cream that I also use in my aesthetic center, whereas it's a great post-peeling cream. It is a moisturizer with vitamin K in that actually speeds up skin healing. It also has an SPF of 50 in. So I'm just going to literally do 2 pumps of this little guy. And so I then have moisture and I have sun protection. Now, if your cream, and I would go with a bland type of moisturizer, and what I mean with that is something that's got like hyaluronic acid in, shea butter, vitamin C, vitamin E, but nothing too active because your serum here is very active, so your moisturizer shouldn't be too active. Now with this one, I know that there's no major activity, but also important, if you use any alpha hydroxy acid at home, it will always make your skin more photosensitive. So let's say you take 10 minutes to burn, you know I'm going to take 5 minutes to burn. So that's why I've now got an SPF 50 on my skin and I'm able to go out and just do what I need to do. But you can see the beautiful glow, the beautiful radiance. And now my skin is ready for another 2 weeks until I can see my esthetician. So I hope that this has helped you. Great way to just look after your skin and keep that skin healthy and keep that skin glowing.